He is the pride of Manhattan, Kansas, trying to make it to Manhattan with the Green Bay Packers to win it all coming up in the 2013 season that has gone swimmingly so far for our next guest on the Rich Eisen podcast, Jordy Nelson. How are you, Jordy?
Doing great. How you doing?
I am doing fine, but I think you're doing better than most. I got to be honest right now.
Yes.
What has clicked in a manner for you and Aaron that appears to have taken you to a different level?
A lot of things. We've put a lot of work and time into it. It's been 6 years now together, and we've steadily gotten better. Each year, our chemistry has continued to grow. We continue to develop, being on the same page every game and are able to make some plays.
So walk me through this process that you do work with Aaron. How often is it? Are we talking about off-season as well here, Jordy?
Absolutely. I mean, we're always up here. Both of us, get all our work in the off-season. If it's just lifting and running or IPWs and OTAs and mini camps, I mean, we're here every day for that. Month of training camp, and then just throughout the season, we continue to grind every week, every practice. If it's on the field talking about certain things, or if it's in meeting rooms, when we're watching game film or watching practice, I think we both do a good job of communicating, seeing things and adjusting to them, but also making sure we carry that over to the game.
And when you are in the game, what is it like in the huddle with Aaron Rodgers, Jordy?
It's simple, very calm. I mean, there's not much being said when we're in a possession. I mean, he might say a little bit before the possession starts, but once we're in a possession, he's just calling the plays, maybe a little bit here and there on what he wants, but for the most part, he's just calling the plays. We put in all the work throughout the week, so we know what to do versus different coverages and different adjustments that he might make. So when it comes game time, we're able to play fast and just make the changes on the run with like nonverbal communication and just knowing the reads that we need to make.
Your background and your path to the NFL and Aaron's path to the NFL, your walk-on at K-State, he's a guy who had to go to Butte College to get to Cal, and then he falls in the first round of a draft despite a stellar collegiate career where he's played some big-time games. You fall completely out of the first round despite holding every record for receiving in the history of Kansas State football. Do you think that background, that the two of you, helps the two of you connect in a way?
I think so. I think the path that we took, like you said, not being a high recruit out of high school, I know he had a little more expectation probably with the draft than what I did. I mean, we thought there was a chance with the first round, but probably we're pretty sure it was going to be second round. But it's the drive that we have every day that it wasn't a guarantee that we'd be where we are. It's the hard work that we had to do in the years past through high school and college to get us to here, and we haven't forgotten that. And that's what drives us every day, every week, and allows us to continue to get better.
The injury to Jermichael Finley obviously would shake anybody up. I read what his first-person account of the injury in Peter King's MMQB. What was it like from your perspective, seeing a teammate of yours, obviously somebody who also in your way goes over the middle? What was that like for you from your perspective, Jordy?
It was tough. At first, you see him laying there, and to be honest with you think it's the typical concussion. Guy's a little doozy, maybe, got knocked out, so the trainer's going to come out, talk to him, get him alert, get his balance back, and they'll help him off the field. But the longer he lays there, obviously the more worried you get. Whenever I see someone laying on the field, if it's our teammate or the opposing team, I always try to say a quick prayer because you don't know what it is. And you can only be in God's hands of, to take care of him, protect him, give him the strength and courage to get through whatever it is. And then once they started rolling that stretcher out, I was first towards the sideline, but I made my way back out to him to see kind of what was going on and how he was feeling and if he was moving at all or what, because the trainers, did their job of keeping him still so nothing more serious would happen to him. Because you don't ever know. When you're messing with the neck, any little movement, could make it worse than what it already was. So when you see anyone gets carted off on a stretcher, it hits you hard. As you start thinking about, your job and what you want to do and how long you want to do it.
And so, what have you said to him since then? Have you spoken with him? Have you been able to chat with him since then?
I have. I went over there Monday afternoon after the game, saw him in the hospital, talked to him a little bit, see how he was doing, how his family was doing. And those conversations are honestly a lot about everything but football. I know he tried to say, man, I'll be back, I'll be good. But, I mean, that's just our mentality as a football player. But as someone, looking at him and talking to him, you want to make sure he's okay, for the rest of his life. You don't want him to rush back. You want him to take care of himself and his family first and football second. So you just want to lift him up, obviously show that we care about him. I know a lot of guys made trips over to the hospital on different days just to check in on him, give him something to talk about. It's not fun no matter what the reason is just to be sitting in a hospital bed. So I think a lot of guys made the trip over there. I saw him, I believe it was yesterday in the stadium as well, talking to him. He's feeling good. He's up walking around and feeling better and is upbeat.
Well, that's great to hear. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it just leaves you a lump in your throat and your stomach when you see something like that, and it's just great to hear him that he's up and about, and even thinking if it's obviously physically feasible for him to get back. Back on the football field, you are really the only healthy starting receiver in many ways from the beginning of the season. What has that been like for you? Have you been coaching these kids up that we're sitting at home learning their names as they catch footballs from Aaron Rodgers right now, Jordy?
We have, but to be honest with you, we started that all the way back in training camp. Here with the Packers, we've been very deep over the years. I'm talking 5, 6 receivers deep ever since I've been here. And this year was going to be a little different. We had 3, main guys with James and Randall and myself. Jared Boykins, who now everyone's finding out about, is in his second year. We knew what he was able to do, but he just hasn't had the game reps, and that's kind of what you need. I mean, you practice all you want, but you got to get a feel for the game. So with him and the other guys going through training camp and OTAs, we're trying to coach them up because we know those young guys eventually are going to have to play for us, and we need them to perform. So we started that process a long time ago, but the last couple of weeks, you're trying to keep it simple for them. Understand it's just a game of football. Don't try to, put too much on them, but just go out and play. I told them last week going out to the game, I'm like, guys, this is just football. You've played it since high school. You made it through college. There's a reason why you're here because you can make plays. So just go out and play the game and don't think too much.
And when you were at the game in Minnesota, I know a lot of people talking about Greg Jennings this, Greg Jennings that. Josh Freeman's standing on the other sideline, and he's the quarterback who has thrown you all those balls in those successful years in Kansas State. What can you give us insight with him as to what's going on with him in his pro career right now, Jordy?
Not too much. I mean, we stay in touch, but a lot of times when we talk, it's about everything but football. We're around football so much that you don't want to drill each other, on the season or how the game is going. But I talked to him a little bit. Obviously, was concerned about his concussion and what he went through last week and wondering, how he's doing, when he's going to be back. But I think he likes where he's at. He likes it up there in Minnesota. He did kind of tell me it's similar to K-State and everything like that. So I'm glad that he's happy. Obviously, what he ran into in Tampa Bay is a tough situation. And obviously, I don't think anyone but Josh and the people in Tampa know the full details on that. But to me, he's a good quarterback. He can make the plays. He just needs to be comfortable again. I think he had a couple good years in Tampa Bay. Obviously, changing of the coaches might have some effect on it, but I think he'll be a good fit in Minnesota with that run game. He's got a strong arm. They got Greg over there and some other receivers that are going to develop for him, and I think he's in a good situation.
A couple minutes I have left with you, Jordy. Do you ever want to pound your chest and remind everybody that in a Super Bowl you had 9 catches for $140 and a touchdown?
Not really. Not at all.
That's not in your DNA at all. You don't want to. There's no chest pounding in you at all, Jordy.
There isn't. I don't enjoy that one bit. I try to do my best every time I catch a ball or score. I try to hand the ball to the official. I mean, I don't take anything I do for granted, and I enjoy every moment of it. There's no doubt about that. But there's a lot of people that have put time and effort into me through all the years of football, And to me, also, when you make a play on the field, it's not just you. Obviously, I need to have a quarterback that's able to give me the ball. You need offensive linemen that can protect. I mean, we got a great running game now that's allowing us to get the one-high coverage that we want and maybe some man-to-man on the outside. So there's so much time and work and everyone's effort into it that it's not about one person. So for me to do that, it definitely would be selfish, and so I try to stay away from it as much as possible.
That said, how about getting you in a discount double check commercial, though, Jordy? I mean, B.J. Roger's gotten in one, and I mean, he's gotten those. He's got the guys from Saturday Night Live, George Wendt in there, and Robert Smigel. How about a little Jordy Nelson discount double check, love? How about some of that?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Aaron about that one. I think he's seen some of my commercials up here and might not like my acting skills.
Oh, is that right? What is it? What do you got? We don't see those. What do you got up there? What do you got up there?
There's a nice little Wisconsin tourism commercial that's going around Wisconsin and the local states. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of off of The Wizard of Oz. How obviously Dorothy wants to go home back to Kansas, and so that's kind of a twist off of that. A lot of humor.
So what are you? Are you the wizard in that one? What are you in that one?
No, I kind of get knocked out playing catch with my wife. She overthrows me. I hit a tree. So then I have a dream about Wisconsin and how great it is in the fall. And then the fairy shows up and tries to explain what's going on. There's some little kids with cheese heads that are supposed to, be like the munchkins and stuff. So it's pretty funny, I think. Some of the guys give me a hard time, but you'll just have to look it up.
But, Jordy, if you get hit and you hit a tree, you need insurance. And who has insurance but Allstate? And you need the discount double check.
State Farm, Rich. State Farm.
Oh, but State Farm. Whatever, State Farm. Whatever. You know where I'm going with this. It's natural.
Very true.
It's next level. It's
we'll
your next
work
step.
on it. We'll see what they say.
All right. I'm just trying to leave you in a better. That's what I try. I know it's your first time on the podcast, and I really appreciate it. You're lighting it up, and I just want to leave you in a better spot than I found you. That's all I want to do.
Appreciate the help.
You bet. Hey, Jordy, good luck. It's Bears week. Does it feel different when it's Bears week around there?
Not yet. I think we'll head in there tomorrow.
Okay.
Obviously, we have an extra day of preparation, but once we start watching film, you start feeling the energy. The fans have a little different energy about it, and but once we get into the week and towards the end, Saturday and Sunday, you definitely will be able to tell it's Bears week.
Jordy, thanks for calling in. Congrats on the start so far. I know you got a lot of work left to do, but I really appreciate you coming on. And you're also on my fantasy team, and I greatly appreciate what you have done this year, certainly in that regard.